What's up, everybody? Welcome to the. I don't have an intro for the Peep Show. I'm like, we've got the lore games, and then we've got Nerd Den, or however we say that. We don't really have anything for Peep Show. Peep Show. I don't know. I have a feeling Dusty's gonna come up with some amazing intros for us.
Now he's on the spot.
Make it so. Devs, do something. Well, welcome everybody. We are gonna have a really amazing, a bunch of amazing stuff to show you tonight. We've been very busy. You know, it's even in a bear market, we don't really slow down. So we're just doing a lot of stuff, and we can't wait to show you. So I guess we should just go ahead and jump in. So this is the Community Peep Show for Friday, May 19th. This is the Q2 Adult Fantasy updates, and yeah, we're gonna show you guys some cool stuff, and we definitely want your feedback. Definitely before we start, what's up, Willie D? What's up, Avery? What's up, KG? What's up, Rages? What's up, MK? How's everybody doing? Yeah. This is going to be fun. All right, check this out. So, as I always say, this is a spoiler show. We're not hiding anything. This is like full transparency. So if you want to be surprised about stuff that's coming out in the next several months, quarter, whatever, you may want to like not watch this. You may want to put this aside, just watch it later. Just figured I'd put that out there. I'm sure everybody kind of wants to know what's going on because it's Web3, but you never know. I'd hate to be... we'd hate to be accused of ruining a surprise. So, all right. So there you go. There's your spoiler warning. LFG. Today's agenda, where we've been, where we are, where we're going, and then we'll do a little bit of QA so we can answer all of your questions. And I always like to start with kind of a background on like where we've been. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a previously on. There's a few reasons for this, mainly because, you know, we're in a space that moves so fast. You know, if people don't launch something like every day, it's like, you know, what are you guys doing? Where are you at? Also, people have lives. So, you know, if they go away from the Discord for a while and come back, they might have missed things. So we use this section to kind of do a quick update and say, okay, here's everything we've done up to this point. And we'll keep it pretty brief. We don't want to drag it on for all you guys who've been here since day one. Yeah, let's check it out. So we launched in December of 2021, and in 2022 we just kind of came out of the gate firing. We wanted to show what we were about. So a couple of milestones. MK says tonight on a very special Moesha. You're not wrong. You're not very far off from the truth. So we launched in 2021. 2022 saw a bunch of milestones. The first of which is we actually launched 3 collections last year. We did Min Pass #1, we did the Adult Fantasy Hail Draconis collaboration, and we did Origin Comic #1. We'll touch on a little bit about of those as we move forward because it all ties into things that we're going to be doing. We created Evening Alpha. So this was our live stream / podcast. And we focused this on vetted founders and influencers. And the reason we started to do this was because we realized it was really you guys. Like, we were doing what everybody else was doing in 2021, 22, which was contacting other projects and doing giveaways and collabs and drops. And you guys started DMing and saying, hey, so this project looks really cool. Do you guys trust them? And the truth of the matter was, like, we were like, well, I mean, we talked to the team and, you know, shot a couple of emails back and forth. They seemed legit, but we had no idea. And that didn't sit well. We were like, you know, that's actually a really good point. Like, you know, we try to, you know, we work really hard to have a good reputation and do everything we can to prove ourselves. How can we bring other people to you guys without some verification and some proof and to do what we can? So what we did is we started this podcast really to meet other founders and expand our own personal networks for our project, but also potentially hook up with other projects to bring giveaways and airdrops and all kinds of stuff to you guys. And so that's how this started. And that sort of springboarded into a bigger idea of saying, well, hey, now we're meeting all of these really cool projects. What if we had a Rolodex, like an old school directory, like where we could actually hang out with these founders and talk to them and maybe get everyone to promote everybody's work, right? Like, wouldn't it be cool if when Adult Fantasy does a drop, we could go to a group of founders that we know and that we've built a relationship with, and we can say, hey, we're doing this drop, help us promote it. And return, when you guys do a drop, we'd love, because you're vetted and you're docs and you guys are great teams and great projects, we'd love to promote your stuff as well. And so Super Secret was created. It's a kind of like an exclusive founder builder network, whatever. It's just vetted professional founders. Basically, the way it started was Evening Alpha fed into Super Secret. By the end of the year of 2022, we had 36 partner projects in the network, and we continue to add people every week. And we're going to kind of give an update to Super Secret and some other things. Also in 2022, we launched Lore Games. Lore Games is our community-driven writers' room, which drives story creation in our universe. It's gone through a couple of iterations. I think we're kind of settling on things now, which we'll talk about from some of the 2023 stuff. 2022 also saw a whole bunch of partnerships. We had dozens of partnerships from Evening Alpha, and we also had our first physicals. We did a collab with Bugatti Luggage, and we also did a partnership with Ism Toys. They were cool enough to create this like kind of this one-of-one sculpt for us, and we're still working on things with Ism Toys, potentially other things. And so yeah, they're a great partner and they're a great team over there. So that was a lot of fun. Some numbers: 2022 holders and supporters. Our big takeaway at the end of last year was that Adult Fantasy is growing, even though it seems slow and there's not a lot of people in Discord. One of the benefits of having a lot of other founders in our network now is that we can talk. We can say, hey, how's your Discord? How are people? What's going on? The way that Adult Fantasy is the way most other Discords are. Yeah, there are some Discords that are like still popping and firing, but for the most part, people are everywhere. They're taking a break. It doesn't necessarily mean that people aren't around, right? And so what we learned is that we were actually growing, even though Discord is a little silent. We've actually been growing pretty steadily. In 2022, we had 1,000 people on the email list. That has doubled. We have over 2,000 now. In 2022, we had an average Twitter reach of 6,400. Our Twitter reach has grown, and I'm going to tell you how in just a minute for 2023. And right now, our average Discord membership was a little above 7,000. It's plateaued, it's stabilized. We haven't been growing on Discord, but we haven't shrunk. It's basically like what it is. I think it's like at 7,100, something like that, which is great. I mean, frick, man, it's a bear market. I think that's pretty awesome. So considering that we've stabilized on Discord and everything else is growing, that's pretty cool. Some other numbers. We did a survey at the end of last year for our holders and supporters, and we realized that you guys are mostly between the ages of 30 and 50, which makes sense.
They relate.
Young at heart. Experienced. Do you see that? A little experienced in the space. Most of you guys have NFT collections of hundreds to thousands. So this is not a newbie collector market here, which makes total sense. Self-identify as holders, not flippers. Right on. Very informed. You guys follow alpha chats, research, analytics. A lot of you guys work in the space too, which is awesome. I love that. And we're global. We reported, or people, I guess you guys reported, over 8 time zones on the survey that we did. So it really is a global base. It really is an experienced group of people, and I really love that. I'm kind of glad, to be honest with you, especially after you see what's been going on this year. We're not a meme coin, which is cool. 2022, in terms of holders, at the end of 2022, we had 2,567 unique holders. So those are unique customers across, or unique wallets across all of the different launches. In fact, it was seeing that number that inspired us to get super hardcore on the email capture, because I love direct marketing and digital marketing, and to see a number like that and to know that most projects don't have a way to routinely or regularly contact the customer base is kind of crazy. So we kind of kicked that up a notch, and that's going to continue to grow. Also, 93.5% of you guys have held S1, AFS1, the first release, for 12 months. Thank you. That's awesome. And 80% have held for at least 6 months. So it's a pretty solid base. Certainly some of that might be because of the bear, but it's pretty cool. KG says, stop kidding around. We're old. Hell. Yeah, MK says, still waiting on my prime. You know, almost there. It's like second puberty. It's second puberty. It's fine. Community engagement. So last year we did. I love this image. It's weird, you know. It was very well done. It's just weird. We did. So last year we did 2 IRL events. We did NFT NYC and we did Heroes Con. We're also going to be doing that this year as well. Or we did NFT NYC. We'll also be doing Heroes Con. We did 25 live events on average every single month. And we did 150 plus, or a little over 150 live events in the 6 months that we were tracking. So I think that was like what, July to December, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that, June, July. So we were really pumping out content, and we still do quite a bit actually. In terms of backend and code, Flint had been working on continued development on the adult fantasy deployment system. The updates that he did last year, especially towards third quarter, were designed to shorten the NFT reveal time. Flint, I don't know if you want to mention anything about that while we're on the slide, since it was last year, but what do you think?
Yeah, so this is kind of an ongoing effort, right? And the thing that we've kind of been grappling with is, the better your tools are, the better your releases are. The more easy it is for us to build new releases, the quicker we can get them out, the more advanced and cool things that we can do. So last year we started from a very rigid system that was specifically for season 1 and could only do season 1, and built it into this really flexible system that can do multiple releases and multiple different kinds of releases and simultaneous releases, as we kind of did for some of our collaborations. And we're continuing to do some good stuff this year with the system. So take a good hard look at the screenshot, because it looks very different in our 2023 slide.
That's right. Good call. Yeah, definitely remember this image because it's changed quite a bit. Awesome. And also in 2022, we grew, we started Evening Alpha in 2022. We grew Evening Alpha to 42 episodes. So we just stacked and stacked and stacked. And then we moved, almost everybody from those Evening Alpha videos, those Evening Alpha interviews, into the super secret, where we continue to talk and we continue to share stuff. Form factors. Flint was really lazy last year. No, I mean, we have tons of form factors now. We actually have some more coming out.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, obviously. Flint busts his ass. We did trading cards and ashcans and comics, original art, and more coming soon. I love this. Like, every time I see the NFTs, I mean, the original art stuff with the actual, like, Avery's like ink smudges on the back of the art. We scanned the original pages. I mean, it's freaking awesome. So I love that stuff. It did that on its own. I didn't do that. But anyway, there you go. Surprise. Also lore games. So at the end of the year, we had done volume 1 and volume 2, where we kind of went after lore games. We designed lore games like a game. It was based on, or the original version was based on an RPG called Microscope, which is sort of an RPG designed to build RPG universes for like D&D and stuff. There's some really cool aspects of that, and what we found was, for us, it worked really well. We did volume 1 and volume 2. Volume 2 is a story of Cobalt Fox, so we kind of have a really good foundation for Cobalt Fox's backstory and his history. Volume 1 focused on the primordial, and it worked so well that we ended up passing that over to Zach, who has been writing the novel, and we've got some updates on the novel. This image is one of Zachary's other books. It's not obviously the adult fantasy book. I just put it here for an example. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. And we'll talk a little bit more about lore games here in a second. And then I think this is finally in 2022, we did launch that Origin comic #1. And this was the first community created comic story that completely evolved out of lore games. So this was based on conversations that we had in our chat. It was also in chat, like both on screen and through text. You guys know this. And we just kind of wrapped that up, and Zach wrote a story and Avery drew it and kicked ass with it. And yeah, we're going to be doing more of that for sure in the coming months and years. Like that's on the books, man. We're ready to go with that. So let's talk about this year, 2023, Q1 and Q2. So we're combining a couple of things because even though we did a Q1 town hall, the projects that we're working on now are a little bigger or like a little wider in scope. So it's not so much like January we did this, February we did that. It's more like from January of this year till August we're doing this. So it's kind of combining things and kind of moving on stuff. So the first thing is the backend redesign. So this is, if you remembered Flint's backend that was black and kind of minimal, this is what it looks like today. So we've done continued development of the AF deployment system, and now it's more about usability improvements, and new features for future releases. You want to talk about that for a minute, Flint?
Yeah, I mean, just to reiterate, the simpler we make our tools to use, the better our releases can be, and the less stressful our releases can be. Our older tools from last year were very flexible and very developer-y, for lack of a better way of putting it. They were hard and stressful to use. So this is getting things just to be a little bit easier to use. It's also making it easier for us to build new form factors, and by form factors we mean card, comic, the different kinds of forms that the NFT can take. And that'll enable us to do some cool things this year that we're not going to talk about right
now. Awesome. Yeah, I gotta say, like honestly, like the designer in me is like, oh my god, the backend looks so good. Granted, I've literally never seen this. It's that developer-y. I've never logged in.
Happiness. There are companies with like whole teams.
Yeah.
For developer happiness.
Yeah.
So he put on that hat.
Yes.
So that we can be happy.
I love it.
I want to be happy when I use my tools.
I just imagine when like twitching, rocking back and forth. It's like, I just want to be happy.
You make better things when you're happy. So.
KG says, "You tease. We're gonna reveal. We're gonna reveal.
We're getting there. We got to build it up,
MK says, "Pretend Todd isn't here. Finish your thought. Go on." We're gonna expose a bunch of stuff. We're gonna talk about stuff.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there. So in January up until now, we started working and releasing the Adult Fantasy Tabletop RPG. So we started, and this is one of those slides where I kind of like couldn't figure out which one to put first, because we did this in conjunction with lore games. And what we started to see was a way to tie the two together. So I'll talk about lore games on the next slide. But for this slide, we started working on the RPG because we realized that, I'll just say them together. Basically, what we realized is that with lore games version 1, I guess you could call it, the system was great for us. We had the card system, and it was we could go around the table and roll and talk and kind of come up with like, well, what if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? The feedback, though, from you guys was that there was still, like, you didn't feel like, some of you guys were totally fine with like popping in and throwing stuff out, and we love that. But I think, other people, everyone comes at this from a different perspective and a different place in their life. And I completely understand and respect that it can be hard to feel like you're going to put something out there and maybe it's a stupid idea and maybe they'll laugh at me. And of course that's not the case, but I understand the protection or the kind of the fear involved in doing that. So we were like, well, what is it that we can do to kind of break that, to make it more fun and make it not a chore or not something that has stress involved, because that's kind of not the point, right? The point is to not have stress. It's all about escapism and having fun. So we were already working on and talking about an RPG. We actually have, I actually have, and maybe I'll release it one day. We have a few early versions of different games. Like we actually have a couple of different games in the adult fantasy universe that we were playtesting behind the scenes. And we, based on how the lore games worked, we ended up on this model. And so we've been updating this regularly. We just did a huge drop like last week or the week before. We've got more stuff coming out. I've got more. I think there's 46 archetypes. I think I've released like 7 or 8 or something like that. So the rest of those archetypes are coming out. And then we're marching right forward also into our first campaign. So with that, I'll move into the next slide, which is Lore Games V2. So as we started working on the RPG, we said, well, let's just test some of the mechanics and do it live. So we threw that together. What's so good about having the group of guys that we have on camera is that, you know, myself and Flint and Zach are fairly seasoned RPG players, whereas Dusty and Avery and Ramel and Andrew are not. And so it's actually brilliant because we get to play an idea like and iterate on ideas that can work for both beginner players and advanced players, right? Which is very, very hard to do. It's very hard to create a system where advanced players are like, yeah, this is actually pretty cool. And beginners are like, oh, I actually understand this, right? So we started basically getting in the ring, and I you know, as much as I love the guys, I got to say, I feel like they were taking out a lot of their anger and frustration from 30 years of knowing each other because we all ganged up and killed each other and multiple times. They enjoyed it a little too much. I guess is what they enjoyed it a little too much. It's fine. Studio said, Avery said, I have stupid ideas all the time and it doesn't stop me. This is true. But yeah, no, we have a fun blast playing this, and we tested a lot of like battle mechanics and all kinds of stuff, and that actually moved into the RPG. So we were able to kind of play things out, test different mechanics out. We still use this. Hopefully it's not too boring. You know, one of the challenges that we have behind the scenes is like, how can we make this fun and interesting? And oftentimes doing play tests where you're playing the same thing over and over and over, it's not exactly that exciting, but it's so valuable to the final result, especially when you realize that this RPG right here, we're actually creating a rule set to create campaigns that will be collectively tracked across the system by multiple players. I mean, hopefully one day hundreds of people playing the game, right? We'll be able to track this, and it'll actually be logged and have an effect basically in real time on the future lore, right? So that's basically where we're heading. And to be able to start with dice and, you know, a pad basically, or digital pad, and your imagination is pretty awesome. And I think that takes the fear out of suggesting, because instead of suggesting what some might think of, or I guess the person suggesting it might think is a bad idea, or they feel a little, you know, like they don't have the right to offer ideas. Now it's just a game that you can play, and who cares, right? Which is great. That's the way it should be. Flint, what do you guys think? Dusty, Flint, you guys have played. Any insight into this?
I mean, just that it's been a lot of fun so far.
There's lots of laughing coming.
Yeah.
We'll have to get the big, I'll tell you what, once we get this polished, the big challenge is going to be Melissa. Because Melissa, not only does she not play, she doesn't care to play, and she's super logical. And so like if there's a logic loop, like a failed logic point inside of the game mechanic, she's going to call it out. And I'm probably going to get really defensive, and it'll be fun.
I feel like Melissa is probably going to be a min-maxer.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. read all the rules and maximize the power of your character. That's
yeah.
what's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
MK said logical. Stop now.
Yeah,
you know.
I enjoy Todd's having so much fun.
It's great. I'm having fun because I see what we're creating, and I'm dying just so that you guys know, like we've had, because of the stuff we're going to talk about, we've had to kind of pull back a little bit on doing like I haven't had a chance to get the campaign ready to go. It's just a lot of work, which I know you guys understand, but it's not because it's just I'm dying to get there. We're going to get there really soon. It's just we got a couple other things we got to work out.
Progress is a little slow right now. That's okay.
What's that?
Progress is a little slow right now, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's just a little slow only because there's so much going on, which we'll talk about. So yeah, maybe we'll start playing some games. And we did like a movie night last night. We're going to keep it going, and we're definitely going to keep it geared towards the RPG. We just have to figure out like how we can keep the game moving while it takes time to do the campaign and do things like Web3 Comic-Con, which we're going to be talking about here in a second. But it's all happening. It's all good. Next up, so this is the update on Super Secret. So in March, we launched the Super Secret website. So you can go there right now. It's supersecret.vip. So supersecret.vip. And it's really simple. There's nothing there. It's literally this slide. So you're not going to miss much. The key takeaway is how much we've grown and where this is going. And so the statistics for Super Secret right now are that we've gathered more than 45 doxed and vetted projects. And as a group, we now have a combined reach of 500,000 people. 500,000 people. That's if you took all of our Twitter groups or Twitter audience and all of our Discord groups, communities, and you put it together, we have a reach of about 500,000 people. And I want to make this, I want to put kind of like a pin in this, like plant a flag in this, because in my opinion, this is how you do marketing. Because most people just focus on the vanity metric of how many Twitter followers you have, or I don't know, things like that. It doesn't, and that's not necessarily, those aren't metrics that matter, because it doesn't necessarily tell you how many people you can reach and how much attention you can garner, right? Like, it's great if you have 100. I mean, certainly if you have 1 million people and they're following you on Twitter and they're real, phenomenal. You're going to have a great reach and you're probably going to be able to sell out of whatever. But for the rest of us, one, it takes years to get to that if you do it the right way. And two, it's not just about how many people gravitate to your own feed. What we've been able to do is we've been able to partner up with some of the best projects. I mean, all you have to do is watch the videos. Like, we've partnered up with some of the best projects. We've brought everyone together, and now we're sharing intel, we're sharing information, we're talking about, are we going to VCon? What do you think about this? We're talking about people. Some people are looking to raise money, some people are not. Some people are looking for artists, some people are not. Like, it's just, we're actually talking as a group, and what's happening is people are splintering off and partnering with each other on different drops. We're seeing spaces, and there's like founders talking on these spaces, and we know that they met up in Super Secret, which is brilliant. And so as we as a group start launching our projects, and I'll just talk about Adult Fantasy for a minute. As Adult Fantasy starts to launch these new projects, we now have a group where we can say, hey, everyone, help us out. We have this new launch. Will you spread the word? Or maybe we can do a collab and help spread the word and do allow lists and all this kind of stuff. And it doesn't mean we're going to hit all 500,000 people, of course, but it's such a bigger network than if you just try to bring in organically 1 or 2 or 3 people, or even paid ads, bring in a few people at a time. Why not go partner with another group that has 5, 10, 15, 20,000 people in their own network and add it to the group? So 45 plus docs and vetted projects, 500,000 combined audience reach. And we have a good mix of people who are bootstrappers, like people who are just like us, like spend their own money basically, and people who have raised venture funding, venture capital. And so together as a group, the group has raised over $250 million US. So $250 million from some of the top investors in the world. So this is a really strong network, and we're going to be growing it. And this actually spins into what we're going to be talking about with Web3 Comic-Con. MK says, quantity, not quality. True. Quantity is not quality. True. 100%. Right. It's not about vanity metrics. I do not care about you can have 1 million followers, but if you paid 50 cents for them all and they're in Pakistan and they're not going to be able to buy your product, what does it matter? You know what I mean? Like you want to be able to find people who are passionate about what you're building, and who are going to help you get the word out. And that's what we're building, right? And this is for the long-term sustainability and growth of adult fantasy, as well as every other project in the group, right? Together, we're stronger than if we're apart. And so it's probably one of the best things we've ever done, to be honest with you. It's fantastic. We also went to NFT NYC, so we did our first IRL event. Connections were made, times were had. Yeah, so here we're gonna see Dusty's hiding in shame. Let's play a Where's Waldo? Where's Dusty? Can anyone find Dusty in the picture? I have, so this, just for while you guys are looking for Dusty, I'm going to tell you about this. So this is the Neo Tokyo party. So I was invited. I was the headliner. They begged me to come. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, the truth is that I was actually riding Dusty's coattails. So Dusty is in Neo Tokyo. He hooked up the party. He got us there. Neo Tokyo is a phenomenal group, a bunch of entrepreneurs. We had a great time. We met a lot of good people, a lot of people that you're going to be hearing about in the future. We got some good connections. And so group picture time. I'm a shill. I admit it. I'm wearing the adult fantasy hat. I've got my adult fantasy shirt. I got a little adult fantasy backpack on. Like I'm a walking billboard. So naturally I'm gonna be in the front, right? And I'm just gonna be a ham. Dusty, I don't know if you guys can see my there you can see my cursor. My cursor. So follow the cursor. The cursor is in the white area. Follow the cursor. He's not up here. Right. There's his leg.
That is in fact my shin.
That is Dusty's leg.
I stood right in the front.
He was right in the front, and it's no one's fault, it's just when the guy took the picture, it cropped Dusty out 100%. I mean, granted,
3,000 miles.
That's all.
Hey, at least you got the NFT for free, right, Dusty?
Oh yes.
NFT, the Neo Tokyo project is just bare bones. KG says Dusty, aka Waldo. MK says, "LOL, well done." This is by far my favorite picture now of all time. I love this photo. It's the best. And Willie says, "I'd recognize that shin anywhere." It's the best, man. Like I feel in all fairness, dude. He knows this. I felt so bad, dude. I felt so bad.
I got home. I was super excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to share this picture with everyone. And I anxiously awaited for them to announce it in the server. And then they posted it. And I said, where am I? At least I found my shin. Okay, at least my shin is in there. It's better than nothing.
Part of you made it. There's always next year.
Oh, they should have lift you up on a
yeah, so the lesson is that next year Dusty's just gonna lay like on his side like this on the ground, and we'll just
that's too easy to get.
Yeah, he'll never miss out on the picture again. That dude's gonna be ready.
No.
I'm sorry, buddy. I love you. MK says, more excited than sad panda on the left. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh well.
It's okay.
Oh
well. Dude behind Ray just says, dude behind Todd is ready to go home. Yeah, it was a good party though. It was a lot of fun. We'll also be doing Heroes Con this year again. As I hunt for artists who are not crazy.
And I do believe that immediately after this party is when we went and kidnapped MK Kronos, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah,
that is right.
We got to meet MK Kronos at NFT NYC. It was so much fun, guys. I hope we can meet all of you guys next year. It was so much fun.
We had a lot of fun. Yeah, I gotta say, meeting MK and hanging out was one of the highlights of my trip. I said it then. I say it now. It was a lot of fun. we need to do. I wish we could do it more often. You know, like you guys are awesome, and yeah. I'm very appreciative of you guys, and just like the camaraderie and genuine friendship, like that I feel anyway. It's awesome. I love that's one of the reasons why I love this space and love what we're doing. And yeah, I guess we also just before I leave the slide, Dusty, do you want to kind of talk about like we hustled at NFT NYC, like we hustled. Do you want to talk a little bit about it? Like,
Sure. My probably one of my biggest takeaways is that if you have a crowd of people in NYC, Todd is like a tank. Todd just bulldozes through people full speed ahead and gets us there. So we probably walk like 30 miles, 40 miles that week. Like
probably.
Endless walking. We met probably 30 to 40 teams. Just met countless awesome teams building awesome things. Some were our friends that we knew from Super Secret, and some were new people that we met.
Yeah.
But we made so many valuable contacts there, and many of whom are going to be into Super Secret and potentially into Web3 Comic Con as well.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful networking.
Yeah, it was great. If you guys want to get deeper into the scene, I know some of you guys have been there and stuff, but it's definitely worth it. MK says more times were had. Fair enough.
All right. Times, this was certainly one of them.
This is true. There were times. This was one of those times. A time that shall be remembered as a time that was had. Okay, so May, June, July, August, we are working on Web3 Comic Con. It is happening. It is real. This is the website design. It'll be launched soon. Yes, I put a video of Stanley on my in my mock-up. Don't judge. It's fine. It's a good video.
It's classic Todd mock-up. I would be confused,
right?
If he wasn't there.
That's right.
Todd's Lorem Ipsum right there.
It is. That's a Stanley video is Lorem Ipsum 100%. Yeah. So Comic-Con is going to be August 16th, 17th, and 18th. So we're officially announcing it here tonight.
Woo!
August 16th, 17th, and 18th. Super excited. It is 100% online. It's a virtual conference. You do not have to go anywhere. You can be in your underwear, and we will not judge. And tickets are going to be free. Okay? So you're going to be able to see the show for free. There will be plenty of opportunities for other things. We're going to have some swag and some other stuff. Do we want to talk about Flint? Do we want to talk about that?
That is a very wide question, and I'm not sure what you're talking about.
The form factor.
Sure. We're having a new form factor.
Yeah. So we're gonna have we're actually gonna be doing, even though this is a virtual conference, we're actually gonna be doing badges. And so these are gonna be using Flint's amazing real-time dynamic NFT technology. And what of course makes these badges so cool and unique is that if you choose to get a badge, when you get your badge, one of the tracks that we're gonna have is sort of a demo track or a live track. We're going to have some stuff that's pre-recorded. We're going to have some stuff that's live. It's going to be a big show, as big as we can make it. And one of the things that we think is going to be super cool is the ability to replicate as best we can a real convention experience. Like if you've ever been to a comic convention, it's not necessarily all about comics. There's like pop culture conventions, right? Anime Expo, all this stuff. There's always panels and celebrities and influencers, and there are signings. And it's one of the big things that you can do at a real convention that I've never seen done in a virtual summit or a virtual conference ever. How could you do a signing, and why would you do a signing? Well, because we have the technology, as you guys saw with the ash cans and everything else, we can sign comics, we can sign the form factors because Flint's a freaking genius and he's a little crazy. So we'll be able to take some of these badges and we'll be actually able to do real-time signings, not just with adult fantasy. We're going to be working with other projects, and so other projects will have some badges as well, and there'll be signings at different points in time across the convention. So you show up and you can do giveaways. There'll be giveaways and all this kind of stuff, and you can get signed badges, which is pretty cool. MK says, I'm a DEF CON boy. Oh, hell yeah.
Don't hack me.
Yeah. Excited to see what you do with the badge.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Don't hack me. Yeah, that's definitely awesome. So yeah, it's going to be big. This is basically taking up all our time. So it is. I will be honest. When we started this, we thought, well, we can have a really cool online thing. We can have just a few people. It'll be really good. And we got so much interest, especially from Super Secret. Remember, we now have, dozens of projects that are our friends, they're our associates now. And we got so much interest and so much motivation and kind of like attaboy that we were like, well, we just, let's see how big we can do this, considering that we're a small team, So this is going to be a big thing. We're very excited about it. And the most important thing is that the speakers that we're going to have, it's really going to be about education. So we really want people to be able to come in and not just talk about their project. It's not going to be just like Evening Alpha, right? Where people come in and we hang out and we talk about a project and say some cool stuff and be out. Like, we really want to have the entire conference support a full training and a full 360 degrees of the Web3 space. And of course, a lot of NFT talk. So, and digital collectibles and all that. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. We're going to be talking a lot about this in the upcoming days and weeks ahead. And I cannot wait to let you guys in on this. Yeah. MK says, and doing it for free? Seriously. That seems like a tough carry. Impressive approach. Yeah, man. There's a little bit of method to the madness. There's certainly going to be ways for us to support ourselves and earn a living and earn some cash. But ultimately, one of the I think the challenges are a lot of the conventions charge up front, and even virtual conferences charge several $100s up front. And I think one of the things that we have the ability to do is really bring people in to the space and kind of, for lack of a better word, indoctrinate them for the next run. You know what I mean? Like, they come in and people learn and people get to have a great time and a great show, and they didn't have to pay anything for it. That actually sets everything up for the next run, right? And we, because we're hosting it, because we're a part of it, we're going to be, at the forefront, and of course all of our partners as well. Andrew, other one, not the entertainment, I hope. Andrew, no. I'm debating on giving them a panel or not, but I'm a little afraid if we gave them a panel, like what they might do or say.
It needs to be more of an after hours.
Yeah, it might be an after hours party with those guys, because they get a little raunchy. A little.
Yeah.
Gotta love them. But yeah, this is going to be the big thing. You're going to hear a lot about this. And I think the website is going to be going live very, very soon. And then we're going to be adding things to it. So the core website will be going soon. We're going to be looking for people that want to be like guest speakers, or we're going to be doing interviews for people in the Web3 space. So if you want to do a little interview and get your brand out there, again, it's totally free. We've got free levels for everything. And then of course there are other tiers if you want to kind of do more, but that's all optional, which is really cool.
But encouraged.
But encouraged, as Melissa would suggest. Carrot says, here for the cake. What's up, Carrots? How you doing? Welcome. MK says that panel would be pretty badass if we go deep into comic lore, given some of the super secrets. Yeah, man. I think that could be pretty good. That actually might be a good thing. We do a hardcore deep comic lore thing. That could be pretty cool. I like that. I will say that one of the biggest surprises has been how open people have been to be like, oh, you guys are doing this? Yeah, I'd love to be a part of it. What do I need to do?
Yep.
It's gotten way bigger, which is great. And I think it's going to be, I mean, I'm going to put it out there right now, planting that flag. I think this is going to be a staple event, an online staple event for the Web3 space for years to come, because I think we can pull it off, and I think it's going to happen. Carrot says we'll catch up on the first hour on the replay. Yeah, please do. We've just been recapping. We just jumped into 2023, so you really haven't missed much, bro. You've been here since the beginning, OG. Cool. So this is kind of the main stuff, but I want to give you some hints of what also is coming up, because it's not just Web3 Comic-Con. That is the bulk of what I'm personally working on right now, as well as pushing the RPG forward. Balancing those two is difficult. I'm not going to lie, but we're doing both of those things. Spoiler carrots. MK says spoiler carrots. There was no K.
Cake's a lie.
Yeah, cake is a lie. So first up, other things that we're working on.
We're still working on it.
Fiat pay for NFTs. It's gonna happen. You want to talk about
we haven't had a launch, so but and so it's gonna happen. My big effort coming up is just as Flint worked on the back end redesign. I'm going to make the front end more flexible to have all these different kinds of launches. Right now it's in that, just reworking it every time, which isn't developer happiness. So yes, I'm working on that. And that includes putting in the fiat pay system for when we have more coming up.
Right. And that's for the Mint site, which I don't even have a slide for. I don't know why I don't have a slide for that. But the Mint site is kind of a big, huge thing. I don't know why I missed that slide. Oh, well. I love you. You're the best.
It's been quiet for me as they've worked on other things.
Yeah.
So, it's cheering them on and talking through how we're going to do it. So the pass will be the next sales site that we
for sure
Mint site.
So
we have.
So as Flint's working on the back end and kind of refining that for developer happiness and making it faster, better, smarter, all that.
Mm-hmm.
The Mint site itself is going to get the same treatment.
Yes.
Right. Because it is true. We've just been like kind of not redesigning, but redesigning the elements as we need for launches. And yeah, we're starting to do, now that we're doing more and more and more launches, we kind of know, we're like, oh yeah, we're going to need that again.
Like, oh wait, I'm doing that again.
Yeah.
Oh, gotta love my Git history. So I will go find it and put it back in.
MK's awesome. He says, happy to help test if you need.
Absolutely. It'll be coming up. Probably more like end of June.
Soonish.
Yeah.
What else? Update on the adult fantasy novel. So just as of this week, Zach has finished the second draft.
That's my news.
I just
also happen to have taken the bulk of. May I say I took the bulk with Flint?
Yeah.
Of reading the first draft.
We both read it. Yeah.
So because some people don't read books without pictures in them. Not calling anyone out in particular here. And so I enjoy books without pictures in them. And I enjoyed this book. It was the first draft. We gave some comments and things. So I look forward to reading the book without pictures.
Yep.
At another time.
So we just found this out. This was literally yesterday. So he's
so
pretty much Zach.
So.
Zach was like, by the way, I'm pretty much done with the second draft. Now the next step is the final editing process. So when Zach writes, he actually has a really interesting process, and it's actually I'm going to try to do in my own writing, because he doesn't worry about spell check or spelling, right? He just gets it out there, and then he refines it and gets it out there again as a second draft, and then once that second draft is done, then it's time to go back and just like painstakingly edit the, spell check basically, which is brilliant. I'm the guy that like, if I screw up, I go back and I fix things. And that's also why I'm not a novelist. But yeah, so the book is pretty much ready. We're going to be editing it. Just as I said before, this is not the cover to the adult fantasy novel. This is actually one of Zach's other books. We just don't have the cover yet. So I was like, well, here's one of his books. But yeah, so that's gonna be coming out. We're gonna be talking more about that. That'll be coming in the fall, most likely, after Web3 Comic Con. And I'm excited about that. I daydream about having a shelf full of these books, like the Castle books. Yeah, like Castle.
So people may not know about Castle. Is a TV show. But they did
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion, and then he was a writer following a lovely cop, and they did have a ghost writer write as him, and we love the show, and so I have. Did you buy me 2 hardbacks?
I think so. Yeah,
I think I have 2 hardbacks.
They released like 10 books.
Yeah,
like actual novels.
But yes, of the actual what he was writing during the series.
Yeah, so you could the book that he was writing during the season, you could go in the store and buy the book.
And why is this relevant?
I don't know, because it's I don't know. Whatever.
It's a fun story. Well, you want the whole set.
I want books with words that I've purchased for you.
Engaged.
It's 10 o'clock and you can tell.
MK says, "Yay, tangents."
That was a total tangent.
Okay, we've got one more surprise for you guys. 2 slides left, but it's one surprise.
Here's the cake.
Here's the cake. So I'm not going to tell you much about it, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I'm going to keep this really vague. Promise. We may be working on a game.
Just a little game.
We may be working on a game. This may be the first crowdfunded mint using the mint site that Melissa has developed. It may be Metroidvania style, and it may be an instant classic. We're definitely looking at this. We're going to be doing a crowdfunding thing. Super excited about this. We're working with a phenomenal developer. He's awesome. We're very, very excited. Just to explain this, this is not from the game. We just threw this together to show you that we could make something move across the screen. It is literally not the game. However, we are looking at using Primordial, sort of what happened to Primordial before the novel. So if you read the novel or you watch Lore Games while we were all of us were coming up with that, if you help make that book, then this game will most likely take place before that. Okay, so we're starting to put the pieces together in an actual sequence, continuity-wise, across different avenues, right? Different genres, mediums. So yes, we are going to be crowdfunding this. We'll talk to you more about how and when and why. Needless to say that if we're successful with the crowdfund, it's obviously going to take some time to develop. But you guys know by now that we deliver on our promises. So we are so stoked to bring this to you. It's going to be fucking badass. Excuse my French, but it's just going to be fucking badass. So we're super ready for it. KG says, video game? Yeah, dude, video game. It's going to be really, really, really cool. And just to give you a little bit of a sweet teaser, there'll be more teasers along the way. But we have the very last thing. This is super thrown together. But we wanted to share an audio track that I love and I think we should definitely use. I don't even know if I'm actually sharing my audio. We didn't actually test the audio on this, but I think it'll work. If it doesn't work, we'll figure it out. Okay.
Post it to Discord or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me if this works. You hear that? No.
That's a big negative.
Awesome. Okay. Didn't really think about that one. Settings. Okay, let me try this. Remove. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to go to present. I'm going to go to
Video file.
No.
If you present a video file, won't the whole thing?
Hold on. I'm going to stop the screen. I'm going to present. I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to share the screen over here. I'm going to share the tab. Presenter view. There we go. This should work. Share tab audio.
You go. Okay.
All right. This should work. Okay. Ready, guys? So this is audio. This is an original track made by the person we're working with. Original track for the upcoming Primordial Metroidvania style game. All right, here we go. Yep.
Yes.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
And I love that track so much. It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, Carrot Carrot says sounds like a Simon and Garfunkel classic. Nice classic sound to it. MK says total Metroidvania vibes. MK says I want to go hit my local Blockbuster. Absolutely. KG says that was sweet. Awesome. Thank you guys. So this is just the very, very, very beginning baby step phases. But this is the next step. So we're talking comics now. We've got a book coming out. We've got RPGs. We've got a game coming beginning. Like we're doing a lot. We're doing everything. We've got the Web3 Comic-Con where we're going to pretty much run the show and bring a lot of people together and present just some phenomenal projects to you guys. Yeah, we're doing everything we possibly can. You know, they always say, I'll end with this. Like they always say, like a bear market is a build market. And I think a lot of people make the mistake in thinking that build part means make stuff and launch it. And while that's true, that's actually, I believe that's a mistake in a bear. Doesn't mean you can't launch. You should launch. And if you have something to launch. But it's not just for launching for launch sake, right? Another way to build is by bringing people together, bringing teams together, and helping each other launch together, right? Like actually building the network that helps everybody in that network succeed. And we're super proud to be a part of it. And we're really happy to be able to share this with you guys and promote a lot of amazing projects and build some amazing stuff for you guys and launch that as well. So that's what I got. Anybody have anything to say or kind of sum it up, or what do you guys think?
Just real excited for the rest of this year. We got some awesome stuff coming, and yeah, can't wait to get it out to you guys.
Yeah, awesome. KG or MK says thanks for the share. Well done. All great update. Thank you guys. That means a lot to us, especially, you know, there's always so much pressure, especially in a bear where it's just like, you know, we say it a lot in Discord, and I know you guys know this, but we say it a lot like, hey, when we're quiet in Discord, it doesn't mean we're not working. It means we're working more than ever.
Yes.
It really means we're probably working too much. Like, you know, it doesn't mean it's the opposite, you know?
Yeah, not so much summer off. No, maybe next year. I don't know.
Maybe next year.
No, we'll take some time at the very end of the year.
We will. We'll take a break at the end of the year.
At the end.
We just have a break. We can do a break.
It's a summer of. We'll have to coin something. I can't coin something right now, but summer of blank.
Summer of nothingness?
No, well, because we're working.
Oh, because we're working. I see. Like next summer could be a summer of nothingness. This year could be a summer of like.
This year is Web3 summer.
That's
Web3 summer.
Yeah, it's already our hashtag Web3 summer.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't. I gotta. I'm. That's the best. That's a great one. I can't beat it. Summer AF. Oh, there you go. That's pretty good. I like Summer AF too. That's great. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much. We love you guys.
Should we ask if there's any questions?
No, I don't want any
Okay,
questions.
no
I'm
questions.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
No questions.
No,
Not
no
allowed.
questions. There actually was a slide that said Q&A. But you guys can ask questions anytime you want. You know, I just stop. Like, do you guys have any questions or anything you would like to know before we bounce? You let me know. I'll give you a couple seconds because I know there's always a delay. If not, if you have no questions, just say no, get out of here or whatever.
Scram.
Scram is a good one. Get lost.
Throw tomatoes.
Make it like a tree and leaf.
Send death threats, you know.
Send death threats to Flint. Thank you very much.
Joking, Melissa.
Thanks, Flint. Love you. MK says.
Now we have the Discord. Yay!
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, MK, for letting us off the hook. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Maybe
we should take that out of the slides.
You probably should. Yeah, totally.
Because by the time we get to the end,
everyone's like, yeah.
No, more.
Yeah. All right, guys. Oh yeah, thank you. Avery wants me to remind you that Nerd Den is happening pretty much now. So we're gonna bounce over to Nerd Den. So we're gonna put a link in the Nerd Den. Give us like 5 minutes and we're gonna hop over there. We'll be in Nerd Den. We're gonna chill out and relax and just like talk smack. So if you want to hang out with us more on this Friday evening, we're gonna be yep, absolutely MK hardcore nerdery, LFG. Yep. We're moving from this to that. Let's go. See you guys in 5 minutes. We'll post the link in Discord if we haven't already. Oh, wait. Dusty muted himself.
Oh, hello. The link is in live session. So head on over to live sessions, and that is your link to the Nerd Den.
Awesome. So we'll see you over there in just a brief moment. Love you guys. Take care. Thank you so much for showing up, and we will see you in like 5 minutes. All right. Bye, everybody.